Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast from your host, Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda heroes like defender of the fatherland, off it to a 1v1 on... You guessed it is Langraskaya. In the north, it is Clorora fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with the Kampfgruppe von Sauken, featuring defensive doctrine with Osttruppen, defensive fortifications, Stug 3Es, Pack 43s, and Sector Artillery. In the south, it is Kusanagi fighting for the Red Army of the Soviet Union, Communist Here with the 12th Guards Tank Corps with airborne troops, Guard Rifling, Guard Motor. We got an Osttruppen MG42 start versus Dominik conscript start. As always, a big hearty thanks to my Patreon supporters. Without them and their valuable support, the Propagandacast would not be able to keep doing what it does. So big thanks to all those. Other people enjoy ranks by Patreon, or they can donate via PayPal. Support the Propagandacast in this internal glorious war effort. Or you can consider purely income as fuel. Link in the comments. Use the code Coh2 there, and I get a small part of the sale. And like, share, comment, like, share, subscribe. So, with that out of the way, we head here for Deutschland. The Austrian machinery east side, Pioneers based in the centre, westwards got engineers teaming about with another engineers going westwards. Second Austrian squad here for Clorora, relying on masses of cheap infantry to try and overcome the opponent, who also rely on masses of cheap infantry, but not as cheap. Second Austrian squad, they're almost done here for Clorora. Pioneer, there's the conscripts in the centre here. At the point here. So far, mostly focused on the centre and trying to block any easy movements here from Kusanagi through the centre, though, of course, crucially, not gaining the eastern resources. So, you may, of course, want to eventually dispatch some cheap Osttruppen or Pioneers towards the eastern sectors and rapidly claim them for Deutschland. Third Austrian squad here, third conscript there for Kusanagi. Slumming hit on the Maschinengewehr, Pioneer acting as spotters, ensuring that Kusanagi doesn't pull any fun marks or surprises. Then moving up the side here, right to the Austrian squad here. Charging it for the glory of the Red Army into the Osttruppen here. Can they close enough squad attack from the other side? Machine's up here. So might be able to at least halt party of Kusanagi's infantry assault. Maschinengewehr set up here. And the Austrian squad, it's already past the arc of fire. And the other one is also past the arc of fire there. So that leaves just the Austrian to really do much here. We got Pioneers being rushed in. Up north, the Austrian squad about to clash with engineers there. Third squad moving in to grab northern points. Maschinengewehr turning around to try and catch those bloody conscripts. Pioneers pushing those chaps back there. Kusanagi's getting ready for a really big push here against Clorora. It would appear Pioneers falling back in the centre of the west side here. The Osttruppen hold up against two engineer squads here. A brutal battle, which we won't be focusing on. East side here, conscripts there grabbing the eastern point here. Machine gun repositioning a bit here. Clorora realising the position of the machine gun is simply untenable and could be swarmed by Kusanagi at any moment to notice. Fourth Austrian squad here for Clorora, probably going to be followed up with some tech. North here, the engineers are beating the Osttruppen down. It is not looking great there for Clorora or for Deutschland. Maschinengewehr catching the conscript squad there. East side here, Osttruppen are holding the line narrowly. We can see these forced to dispatch more Osttruppen to deal with those pesky engineers up north. Pioneer flanking in there as well. Could consider some cheeky S-mines, perhaps going straight for the car point. Meanwhile, Kusanagi goes for that fuel point east here, denying it to Kusanagi, or at least denying an easy fuel grab there. Thumbs up to Kusanagi. No commander chosen yet. Engineers around here. Pioneers with sandbags. Awesome squad coming up. Maybe go straight for the fuel point if anything. Reinforcements there. Imagine happening soon. And he can actually take up now. Falling back at least. But the damage has been done. Clorora's going to have to spend more time grabbing that fuel point. So as for Kusanagi, could take up here and have any matter of moments here versus his opponent. Straight for the car point here. Clorora knows he needs to turn the tide. He goes for the car point. He goes straight for the jugular to try and throttle here Kusanagi. While also, of course, looking to regain some kind of fuel equilibrium versus his opponent. If not fuel advantage. Alright, Basil. Yes, Basil agrees. Attack almost on there for Clorora. Continuing westwards here with the Osttruppen. Got some telemines down. He was looking to cut off any potential T-70 or anti-aircraft traffic there from his opponent. Basil investigating my travel bag as I've been off for a little trip today to get myself some new glasses. The others were falling apart. That, of course, means exciting new smells for Basil the Kitty Cat to explore. So, Austin there being pushed back, so in case of any sort of weird crashes or bumps or anything like that, just, be aware. That's Basil rummaging through stuff. because he's a curious kitty cat. Like to mechanize company for Clorora, flame-throwing units push back the Ostrommen under Clora's command. For those wondering what they're, Ostrommen is basically a general designation for troops from, well, mostly Eastern Europe. But also apparently Alsatia-Lorraine, interesting enough, they were sort of basically forced into the German army, or convinced that, you know, maybe it would be better to serve in the German army than to die out in, you know, a concentration camp, more or less, or at least most of the prisoner of war camps. The Russians were pretty much concentration camps, so they were pretty much sort of hightailed into the Ostrom to some degree there, and while initially somewhat reliable, once things started to turn against the Germans, and they became a lot less reliable and was mostly moved to the Western Front, but it also turned out they were not reliable, at which point they were transferred into the Hilfswilliger or Hiwis, which were basically just doing re-echelon stuff. So some would still see fighting though. East of the country about them, the Ostrom squad holding up here. The icon itself there for the Ostrom is actually of the Russian Liberation Army, which didn't really see any action, and basically mutinied against the Germans, I think, in roughly 1945 in Czechoslovakia, I think it was. And you forward to the engineers there. Ostrom as the country was there. Got the Ostrom up the east side. Grab some points in the east as well. Maxim there for Kusanagi. And we got Kusanagi here with Gart Rifle. A slight surprise there. I was expected. Got Moat here from Kusanagi, but Gart Rifle is certainly also starting to gain a bit more traction as late. I think in part as people realizing on the KV-1 is still decent. Ostrom has engineers here, so that's the 8 guard squad out here for Kusanagi. Maybe the first, maybe the last. Boom, boom, boom. Ostrom has the pioneers there. Oh, Conscripts has the pioneers. Engineers has the Ostrom in the center as well there. Better skirmishing at east side. Armored car striking Conscripts here. As once more, Kusanagi is looking to shut down the German fuel supply here and try and bleed out Clorora there and prevent him from going for any panzers or, I don't know, Sturmgeschütze. Guys about to clash with the Ostrom in the east. Almost got the western fuel point open up though for Deutschland. Better skirmish on the west here. Conscripts now being held down here in the building. No further tech there. He could consider mortar. Could consider Panzergrenadier squad. He can consider more Ostrom. I think 5 Ostrom squads is fairly unlikely. Straight for the company, rushing into the country in the EC. More Ostrom to assist, but I think at this point the fight is already lost. These Ostrom, they're already being swarmed here by Soviet infantry, and they just don't have much to hold back with. Machining vessel in heavy cover. Grab the eastern point here. But it looks like Basil's had enough as a little exploration game there. Panzerabwehr Kanone 40. Clorora, of course, even with 1 Telemann laid down there. Probably, it's not under the assumption that single Telemann is going to stop, like, you know, any armor from Kusanagi easily. Like, it does require specific chain of events to develop here for Clora's Telemann to, like, just, boom, shut down Kusanagi's early armor vehicle game there. So, sensible approach there by Clorora. Sensible approach. News was the MU-42. Maximum on there for Kusanagi. Currently being murdered out by the Ostrommen. Got the machine gun team right there for Kusanagi. Ostrommen's being wiped out here. Conscripts about to get murdered out. Bit risky there, to be honest, by Kusanagi versus Clorora and all of his Ostrommen. That is a fairly dense concentration of Ostrommen there to be standing out in the open against. Grabbing the eastern victory point there, western field point also to fall into the hands of the Red Army once more as Kusanagi lines up for another fresh, furious assault against fascism. East side, we got the Ostrommen up, go try and grab back that field point. Field gun here on the way for Kusanagi to help deal with the armoured car, but probably also in the expectation that Clorora could soon be chucking tanks at him. At least the assumption that's a possibility. Mortar here for Kusanagi. Good addition here. Thumbs up to Kusanagi. Mortar is always a good addition, in particular on maps like Langraskaya. I still have many bad memories of playing this map in Companies 1 where there's like no gap here, and then the Brits would just set up a truck here with mortar emplacement and dominate the map. So, yes, this map is pretty good to have a mortar on, if not 2. Ostrom punching on the west side here with minesweepers. Another push here by Clorora to slightly probe out the Soviet lines. We've got a sniper here for Clorora against the Soviet infantry. Interesting pick here by Clorora, considering he's already got a lot of Ostrommen. I don't think that's going to mesh super well here for Clorora. I feel like, again, Panzergrenadiers would offer a more assault element, which currently an Ostrom heavy build does lack. Or, I don't know, I think a pair of mortars might actually be a better investment than a sniper here. But that's just me personally. More to the getting to action here for Kusanagi and the Red Army. The PM41 battalion level more today. Starting to deliver some battalion level pain here in theory on Clorora. Even got a flare off there. Thumbs up to Kusanagi. Could use that one to of course spot ahead for his mortar crew, and for that matter any other troops that might need it. West side we got the Ottomans, the conscripts up close. Some brutal hand-to-hand fighting develops, but it's not looking great for Clora's Ostrom, and they are rapidly dispatched like a bunch of vagrants. Still to get off a really nice place's front door. It's not moving up there. No tech yet here for Clorora. We have that sniper, the Scharfschütze. Ostrom being caught by the conscripts and guards moving up. The engineers joining in the fun as well. His sniper with 1 kill so far, but quite exposed there. No tech yet for Kusanagi. Most likely at this point, Kusanagi is moving straight ahead for the mechanized armor company. Might even be looking to rush out a KV1 here versus Clorora. Ostrom is skirmishing up with the comes of the guardsmen there in the center. We can see the points falling to the Red Army, and the west side is search of Soviet infantry is threatening Clora's left flank as well. Here the Kampfgruppe von Sauken, certainly not having the easiest of times. Ostrom straight for the car point here, sniper nearby. Tech on the way there for Clorora. Sniper scores another kill. Yevgeny drops dead. Mortar moving up here. Running to bombard the German M42, forcing him back here. Maxim joining in certainly does make it easier for Clorora to maintain a position, as that's a lot of firepower being directed to one MG42 crew. And of course Clorora here makes a sensible decision just to get it out of there. Eastern field performance to the end of the Red Army here. We got straight push for the car point there. West side here, Ostrom could also advance up there. Near sent packing. Grab the center, troop enforcing healing here. Could build the support core. Of course, Clorora could also have bigger ambitions and go for something bigger than that. That said, I do imagine we should probably expect some light machine gun for the Ostrom. That said, realistically speaking, Ostrom would never been given MG42s. Like, if they were lucky, maybe like something like the MG15. More likely they've been equipped like, you know, captured stocks of light machine guns if they were given light machine guns, like, you know, Czechoslovakian ZB-26s, or, I don't know, Soviet DP-27s captured from the Soviets, in which case some of them probably been trained on that one. Packman on the west side here, ground points of the Ostrom as well. Ostrom reinforcing, tech there for Kusanagi, 2-2 being repaired. Good up move for the western victory point here. And fought ground the eastern fuel point once more for Deutschland. We got the MG42, except there's one guy who didn't get reinforced. The MG42 is basically stuck in hell, or purgatory, as opposed to waiting for something to happen with that guy. Either gets cancelled, or you actually get reinforced onto, and the machine gun won't be happening there. Bit of no something that can happen from time to time. I imagine Clorora will certainly be feeling a bit awkward about that one, or just mildly annoyed. Sniper then being pursued once more by angry communists. Enemy tube is attacking us! Yuri, it's one of our own! How do you know? Ah! You learn to tell the difference, or you die. Mortar falling back here, and we do get a Stug 3E here for Clorora. A Sturmgeschütz 3A. West side here, we get a maneuvering here. Ostrom, they're trying to hold up the flanks here. Still no light machine guns being added to any of the other squads, except of course the one that finally got, you know, the last guy reinforced. But the other squads are not seeing any machine guns happening. Engineers push the east side here, constantly up there, armored car moving in. Stug 3E also adding the pin about the machining gewehr. Thumbs up. Bombard here's the Maxim crew. This attempt to east side, we got engineers coming up here. Ostrom push back, armored car with the Demon's engine also forced back here. Stugi successfully pushes back the Max on the west here. Looks like it's going to move in to try and well, get things unstuck on the eastern side as well here. Meanwhile, another field in for Kusanagi. Definitely has me thinking he's going to go for the K1 or run than the T-34-76, as otherwise he would have the resources for that. Currently they're under fire from the Stug 3E, pinning up machine gun, and of course the Sen family cannon there firing away, damaging the Stug. Nice bit of work there for Kusanagi. More firing down the Ostrom in the west. Still no additional light machines happening for any of Clorora's Osttruppen, interestingly enough. Content provided by the Stug 3E. Note, any Stugs with these kind of guns would have pretty much, by 1944 for our 5, served as training and replacement units, basically there for training armored troops on Stugs, rather than seeing any serious frontline action unless those training units got caught up in the fighting. The cannon itself, though, would see a lot of usage on a variety of other things, typically armored half-tracks, and armored cars would actually see the same gun applied there to them. So, fun fact there. Both 251 and 250 versions of the half-track would in fact see service with that gun, and there are also versions of the 234 heavy armored car that would be equipped with that one too. So, fun facts there. He's routed here by the MG42. More light machine guns finally happening there from Clorora's beleaguered infantry. Sniper keeps killing there with 13 kills, veteran G1. Stug 3E there, of course, could do with some repairs to fix up that engine. Also on the west side. Another push here for the western fuel point. Held valiantly by Kusanagi's Frontovics. As conscripts got coming up, they note the merge here to help, just immediately reinforce them, but also keep reinforcement costs down. Economic and efficient. Machine gun holding up here, Sniper falling a bit back there. Got as the advancing Osttruppen. Near east level, both of them actually. Got 7-man complement home there. Go Garten being ripped apart there with machine gun fire, and of course, somewhat accurate Ostrom fire there. Grenade mortar fire, though, forces here Clorora to abandon the western positions here. Now the Pioneers whatever Clorora to help repair armor. Very good idea there. Is he playing tier 4? Or what is going on with Clorora though? Conscript right there in the center. Stug E there. 3 kills so far for Deutschland. East side, the Engineers keep up the breakthrough attempt here against Clora's right flank. Eastern fuel pumping seized by a few plucky Pioneers there. Stug could maybe be moving to assist with the Engineers. And Kusanagi there is getting very close to the K1. And there you go, making use of the Stug 3E's smoke barrage ability. Thumbs up. It's actually a quite handy ability, and so one of the reasons to consider the Stug E, because it's free. It's got pretty good distance, and it's pretty much nearly instantaneous. So you can really get like a fast smoke screen off of that to like mess with the opponent. So that's like pretty solid stuff there. Stug 3 getting decent hit on the Guardsman there. East side here, armored coming to assist the Pioneers on the fuel point there. K1 heavy tanks loaded around here for Kusanagi and the Red Army. Also from the center, they're close being exterminated here by Soviet artillery fire and machine gun fire. Stug E keeps bombarding away here. 4 kills, close to veterans 1, but also close to death. Telemans on the flank here. Of course, concerned about the possibility of Kusanagi launching a flank through there. Thumbs up. It's also, to be fair, though, just a common spot to be mined because, someone sneaking up here is typically bad for you in the north side. So, if it's not telemines, like, say, if it's a third plane in the north, it could be regular mines, for example. So, if you're finding on this map, do typically expect mines here. Again, some players won't do it, but, it's always safe to, or healthy to assume your opponent is, that clever enough to lay down mines there. K1 heavy tank out here for Kusanagi and that Red Army. Stug 3 wants minute repairs, and obviously he's going to need something with a slightly more powerful gun than a low velocity Sen family cannon to take on the KV-1 heavy tank. I mean, technically this could do it with heat shells, but, They didn't have a lot of those, and in-game, it would be a bit much if you could just take out the K1 with a single heat shell, though. You could do that in the war. In fact, the Surds were quite surprised when the Germans started suddenly chucking heat shells at the KV-1s. So, fun fact there. K1 heavy tank, they're falling back. Water firing down here. Skirmishing here. Clorora still holds like decent map control versus Kusanagi, but there's certainly increasingly appearing more and more gaps in this map control. No stability. K1 being fixed up. The K1 would later be replaced by the KV-85, which is sort of an intermediate version before the IS series of tanks. Then there'd be the IS-1/IS-85, the IS-2, which are the two models. 1943 model and the 1944 model. Easier countering to the Ostrom here, armored coming to assist as well. Constantly being absolutely wrecked here with heavy machine gun fire there from the Ostrom. Two trenches here. Clorora is ready for any head-on assaults to, you know, respectable degrees, or reasonable degrees with the Ostrom, when you really think about that. Easily Ostrom up against another push here by Kusanagi. Clorora, of course, against the 13th, careful not to get like too enamored with the idea of just going like static here, because that's typically not where the Wehrmacht prospers against the Soviets. And particularly not with Ostrom necessarily. So not if Kusanagi's just allowed to bring in more and more KV-1 heavy tanks, there are certainly potential here that Clorora's strategy might encounter some breakages. Creeping up here again, using the train here to keep up with the trenches and start burning out the Ostrobun. Thumbs up there to Kusanagi. Good tactical move there. Again, lots of smoke as well here to further just obfuscate and frustrate here Clora's attempt at defending, either by just blinding him or just in this way splitting up the forces by using smoke that way. So good use of smoke here, and there you go. Big cluster machine guns packed. Deploying smoke, that is an incredibly efficient method to just prevent them from doing much. I mean, sure, the anti-tank can attack ground, but attacking ground for anti-tank guns is typically a lot less efficient than just being able to directly see the target and shoot at it. They typically miss a bunch more, so... Smart play there by Kusanagi. Really punishes Clorora there for being, you know, too static, but also crucially clustering his defensive support weapons like that. Again, it makes it very easy for the smoke to just, like, shut them out. So they asked him to occupy the trenches, but the trenches and both the Ostrom are not exactly looking like their peak performance there. Stugi, the guy at the field gun in the center. Veterans 1, 8 kills, slowly approaching Meti 2 there. The Stummelkanone, absolute ripping through here. Kusanagi's infantry and support weapon crews almost got the field crew again. There we go. Machine gun, I think, did the job. Now it's the support weapons next to it that could go down here. Plus the guards with ESAT heat troops being held up. K1, they're fighting the Stugi, forcing Clorora to pull back their bit. He could, of course, go for a heat shell there. Do a bit of damage there. Katyusha on for Kusanagi. I was kind of expecting another K1, to be honest. As for Clorora, we're not really seeing much, which does think he's going to go for tier 4 here. Packs punching holes in the K1 there. Cons there suppressed, pinned down. Sniper fire there. Stugi very, very close to destroying the field gun. Kusanagi's running into some issues here now versus Clorora. And of course, part is due to the sheer power of the Sturmgeschütz. Mortar fire there bounces off the Stug 3E's top. Sorry about the hiccup. No heavy Panther core yet for Clorora. Guessing a Panther. Whilst we're going for that western fuel point, few mines going off, in this case a flare mine. Fresh, oh not French trenches, more trenches there being occupied again. 36 kills on the sniper, almost 53. Certainly a prolific sniper there for Clorora. Fixed, we got a machine gun bunker to upcut the flank further here as well. Very concerned about that flank. Interesting enough, Kusanagi's really not attacked for that flank a lot, so... I mean, in a sense, it's sensible, but at the same time, I do wonder if a machine gun bunker at this moment may not be a bit excessive. He's also lost an Ostrom score, but it's not replaced his losses. But he's going for that heavy Panther core, and then I imagine go for that Panther. It seems to be the dream tank for him. In the center, the guards moving up. Though at this point, they've pretty much made up all of conscripts. West side here, we got the Ostrom pushback with the conscripts there. There we go, eventually to the Stug. Guards, conscripts will need to fall back here soon before they get absolutely exterminated here by the Stug 3E. Or for that matter, the unit supporting it. There you go, K1 to the rescue for Kusanagi and the Red Army. There you go, heavy Panther goes up. You can go for the Panther, go for Sturm Panzer, you could go for a bunch of Panzerwerfers. We shall have to see what Clorora goes for against Kusanagi. Packs up in the advancing K1 heavy tank here. Conscript rushing straight from the Stugi. Right at the pack, but there you go. Panthers on the Clorora. Stugi lands a decent hit, and the conscripts under Kusanagi's command here. Mortifying down death as well here. Casualties starting to pile up here for the Red Army troops. It does help there's not a lot of troops around for Clorora to assist there and cover the packs against Kusanagi's advancing Frontoviks. Guard squad back here. Actually getting a guardsman. Stroke 3 there. Almost got the entire country squad there. Wipe the Stroke 3 halfway to the east level. Again, could try with the heat shield against the KB1. Panther's almost done here. East of the Maxim versus the MG42. He's advancing to line of fire with the Stroke 3E. Got some more smoke being deployed this time against the Maxim, I believe. Yep, okay, not near instantaneous, but it's pretty close. So there you go, meeting a big plume of smoke there, appears right around the Maxim Creek site. Guard squad pinned down here. And I think they already immediately lost the guardsman in the squad. Stroke 3E there. Near the ace level here, ripping through the conscripts there. Damage into the front anti-tank. You got sector artillery here. As Clorora looks to halt the Soviet advance here, no matter the cost. A bit late, that's at least prevent them into the point neutral here, so it's actually not effective because now Kusanagi's not really in any of the points that Clora's holding with it, so. Panther going for the K1 heavy tank here. Charging out for Deutschland. Kusanagi will need field guns, and some defense really challenges that, unless he gets really, really lucky with his 1 KB tank, which, you know, is theoretically possible. Stroke 3 though, ace level, 20 kills. Panther going for the K1 heavy tank. More shots punching through the KB tank's frontal armor. Almost got it there. Damage into the gut front of the flank here. The Panther could theoretically cost them Panther with a bit of luck because of that. Because that's a lot of free shots from the guardsman through the side armor of the Panther. There's a reason they did add, you know, side skirts of Panthers as well. And that was in part because of anti-tank rifles. In fact, it was such an issue that briefly they actually considered moving straight onto the Panther 2 and like started building up the project for them. They realized they just slapped armored side skirts on the Panthers. Well, that would do the trick. So, you know, go figure. Still, pretty reckless charge there from Clorora. Could cost them the Panther here. And the Panther does get knocked out here. Huge blow to Clorora. Huge blow there. Painful too there. Either just absolutely just decimating Kusanagi's infantry. But the loss of the Panther really puts it in, and then Clorora really punished for that extension. Of course, partly it's also just a bit of bad luck. They didn't get the KB1 with it, but you know, you probably shouldn't ignore those guards from the flank on it. Part of the issue with the guards versus the Panther is their anti-tank rifles packed guaranteed damage versus any armor, even if they don't penetrate, through deflection. And I don't know why they decided to give that like something with a relatively high rate of fire like anti-tank rifles, but they did. So anyways, K1 heavy tank there for Kusanagi. Clorora still would benefit, I think, from some Panzer Grenadier here versus all of Kusanagi's infantry here. Struggy, though, is certainly reaping a grim toll here amongst Kusanagi's troops. No mistake there, no argument. 27 kills there. Second K1 will certainly be a challenge for Clorora with just 2 packs, though I imagine he's going to try and go for another Panther here versus his opponent. Pioneer is narrowly avoiding getting turned into a fresh coat of paint for the Stroke 3E. The few E's mixed into it. Doing bombarding, MG4 getting the ace level. Guards moving to the machine gun there. K1 almost done. K1 rushing forward for Kusanagi. Second one also join in. Guardsman here about to be engaged with the Stroke 3E. Shots fired there, landing bit close, but not quite enough. K1 has been 40 awesome, blocking off it. Pack caught in a bit awkward position as well here. Got the Katyusha, which theoretically, if you hadn't fired off already, could blast the packs here. Mortar being pushed back here. Things are swinging back and forth pretty aggressively. Clorora is still inching towards that Panther here, but will he get there in time before Kusanagi potentially just crushed him? There you go, awesome scored. Almost wiped the K1 heavy tank. We do see an attempt at the Panther fast, but it may be too late. No, isn't. And the Ostrom, surviving Ostrom there, doesn't get utterly annihilated. Close call here. Packs moving up. Stroke 3E there. Ace level. Ostrom still being hammered here. Contributing force with engineer support as well here. Kusanagi getting ready for a push here. He's also running on victory points here against his opponents. He needs to do something fast here. This could be it. Pack moving up. K1 at the east side here. Contributing on the west side. K1 being fixed up here. Katyusha's almost ready to fire again. We got the Mortar and the Maxims here also, I think, pulling into the fight here. K1 dashing his in. It's a full rout here for Clorora and the German army. Things are falling apart here at a rapid pace. Can he withstand this pressure from Kusanagi and the communists. There we go. Vector's on the K1 there. Stuke 3E almost knocked out. He's charging the base. He's crashing Ostrom left and right. It's an absolute stampede of steel. Bounces off the Stuke 3E's armor. Pack's running around to deal with the K1 here. Drain the machine gun bunker, which finally does its job there. Katyusha fire into the base then. Oh dear, the Pack's on a really bad place for that. Both Pack crews dead. One Pack straight up crumbles apart like an overly stale cookie. Complete chaos. Second Pack goes up and, well, shrapnel as well here. At this point, it does look like Kusanagi has more or less won the fight. Clora's options now are severely limited. He could try and hold for the Panther, but there's only a chance before the Panther arrives. Kusanagi's just crushed Clorora like a sponge with a really, really big, I don't know, industrial press or something. Another Panther for Clorora. Pack Stuke 3 moving up here. Osman East was there. K1 still out of here. Just blast from the base. We do have a fresh Pack 40 out for Clorora, but will it matter against Kusanagi? Duke bouncing a few shots here. Panther's almost done. Infantry company kaput. Katyusha is almost there, but yeah, this does look like the end here for Clorora, short of a miracle, short of divine intervention. Awesome pushing useful teaser into the guard squad there. K1 is almost knocked out. West side here, Pioneers pushing forward with a light bit of Ostrom support here. Sturgi bombarding the Maxim trench there. And Ostrom East here being absolutely pummeled into oblivion here. 29 killed in the guardsmen, 30 kills. Panther's almost done. Almost routed there. Panther right around the corner. K1 being shot up at the Panzer. It can only fear 6 Stuke 3 moving in. Panther has arrived here for... There it is. It has arrived there for Clorora. Diving in with the K1. Shot bounce off the Stuke 3E's armor. Clorora does appear to have a bit of flying spirit here left versus Kusanagi's K1 being fixed up. Katyusha fires off here at the machine gun and the Pack crew. Machine gun utterly annihilated. Pack crew evaporates as well there. Situation for Clorora is once more looking pretty not good, as the professionals would say. K1 gaining actions 1 there. Pack being scorched there. The crew at least is. Panther going for the K1 here. Second K1 nearby, but heavily damaged. And there you go. I think with this, Clorora realizes the battle is over. His forces are just crumbling at such a pace he cannot maintain it. So there you go. GG, game over. He lost here for Clorora, victory for Kusanagi. He fears back and forth fight, and, you know, nonetheless, maybe he should just, you know, not bother with the Panther, just go for the medium armor and maybe add some Pentagon if you're going for a heavy hostile. I mean, it's close at times, but ultimately things just crumble here at a very rapid pace for Clorora because, yeah, the Ostrom and the Panther just have some limitations. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. I learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell friends, tell family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Legion. Cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another episode. Bye.